Okay. Hey. Let's see. Excuse whatever you're gonna see when I try to get this started. I was just here. How do I make this thing go live? It's the wrong way. All right, guess that'll do. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone this Monday, this Valentine's Day? Happy Valentine's Day, my loves, my geniuses. I'm so excited about this month's live because I feel like it's something that we just really need to discuss. We have a lot of, wait, am I not live? I didn't hit the button. I feel like it's something that we need to discuss because there are so many coaches that follow me, that I work with. And one of the things that I've had an opportunity to see as we work with people through the Genius Insiders is that there are a lot of janky contracts out there, like a lot of janky contracts. I'm gonna hit this thing on YouTube and we're gonna get started. So if you have a coaching program, just let me know in the comments if you do either one-on-one coaching or group coaching. Just let me know in the comments what type of coaching that you do while I get this connected to the YouTube. I feel like I kind of have to restart my Zoom. Okay, doesn't look like we're going live on YouTube. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just do what we do anyway. But before we get started, so Barrett says that he is considering a program this year for graduate students. That's really good. I think graduate students, I think that's really good. Awesome. What we have here. Okay, so before we get started, so we're going to talk about that because the question, so for those, I see some new people that are on Instagram. I know the people that are in the Genius Lounge are Genius Insiders. Hey, booze. One of the things that I wanted to tell you is Murray's Law. So Murray's Law, we do this every second Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can submit a question and I will come on live and answer that question, which is really good when you get it live because then you can get real time and then ask more follow-up questions if you have to. So this question that was submitted this week was, how do I get people to stop copying my program? That's one that I get that question so much, and then it was recently submitted. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, can we just take a time out, just a few seconds to talk about last night's Super Bowl halftime performance? Right? Can we just bask in that? I loved it. One of the things that I will tell you to keep it related is that all of those artists understand their value. Why? Because all of those artists have trademarks. They have trademarks, they have copyrights, they have contracts. And my question is, why don't you? You don't have to be a celebrity or big business to go out there and protect your brand. You just don't. So that's all I'm saying. Alea says she's still creating her program. This is for her. Awesome sauce. So let's get into it. So when I say there are 4 considerations that you need to think about when you are talking about protecting your coaching program, right? And if we go just to the question, if we start with the question, how can I prevent people from copying it? There are a few things that you can do. Right. So when it comes to your coaching program and from a legal aspect, what you want to do to protect it, you want to look at your contracts. You want to identify your intellectual property. You want to register your copyrights. You want to register your trademarks. Those are the things that you want to be able to do. And the main thing is you have to know the difference between, when it comes to intellectual property, you have to know the difference between copyrights and trademarks and what can be protected and what can't be protected. A lot of people are upset because they don't understand what can and can't be protected. So we're going to talk about that as well. But if you want to stop, there are clauses that you can put inside of your, and I would say this, so the intellectual property, that's one with the trademarks and copyrights. The fourth thing that I would say that you need to do is you need to enforce your rights. Doesn't make any sense to invest in contracts and invest in identifying and protecting your intellectual property if you are not going to enforce your rights. So can we be on one accord and say, I'm going to enforce my rights? One of the things that doing that, it can act as a deterrent when you use contracts, when you register your trademarks and your copyrights, it can be a deterrent from people from stepping over your boundaries. But if they do cross, you need to be like, okay, I'm going to call my lawyer in and we're going to handle this. Just like Cardi B did to the lady on YouTube who was defaming her character. It ended up with like $1 million verdict. Okay, so get into this. So you can add clauses. So contracts, one of the things that I've been seeing with contracts and as it applies to contracts is that, one, I've seen a lot of coaching agreements, especially as we prepared this month for our insiders. We released not one, but two contracts. We released a one-on-one contract and we released a group coaching contract. And one of the things that I noticed is that these templates that are out there that you're getting from your coaches and you kind of piecing together from the internet, they don't speak to protecting your content from people copying your program. They don't do that. They don't speak to how to prevent people from staying in your program, your 6-month program for 7, 8, 9, 10 months. They don't speak to things of that nature. When you write a contract, you are not writing it for your best client. Contracts are not written with your best client in mind. Your contracts are written with your worst client in mind, with nightmares in mind, so that you can be protected. So you want to make sure that your contracts, especially your coaching contracts, have things like, if you're protecting your content, is you want to make sure that they have a intellectual property clause. That's one. You want to make sure that it has something in there that says that the person entering this program understands and agrees that this is your intellectual property and that they cannot use it without your permission. You also want to have that same notice as they get into the program. So if you have video content in your coaching program, if you have written materials in your coaching program, you want to make sure that all those materials have the proper copyright notice in that as well. And I would also go one step further and put it, when they actually purchase and they end up on the website or whatever you're using to facilitate it, put it in the terms of use as well, that the material is protected by copyrights and they can't use it. But when you do that, you have to know what you're protecting. So can we talk about that for a minute? When you are protecting your content, you are not protecting the idea of what you put together. You're not protecting. So for instance, we have a course that teaches you how to walk through your trademark, how to do trademarks. We have one about how to do copyrights too, right? So if someone takes my course, I can't prevent them from going and creating their own trademark DIY course. Like that, because that is the idea of it. But what we're protecting is the execution of that, how I executed it, how I put it together, how I have my outline and my slides and my videos and my presence if I'm in there, how it shows up, how my materials show up. If that makes sense to you, let me know in the comments if you're hearing what I'm saying, if that makes sense about protecting what we're protecting. I need for you to know that, because a lot of people, because they will say, oh, I took this course on copywriting. Now I'm going to create a course on copywriting. And that's cool. They can create a course on copywriting, but they can't use your stuff. They can't use your words. They can't use your likeness. They can't use your slides or any cuts from your material. They cannot do that. Okay? So that's what you're protecting, because there are people who will attempt to copy your entire content. There are people who will try to take it and record it and sell it and pretend that they're you. So then that goes to the trademark of it, right? That goes to the trademark of them trying to create a brand that's similar to yours so they can confuse people. So when you're creating a program, especially if this is your signature offer, you want to make sure that you are creating with a brand in mind, because people buy from people they like. It doesn't matter if someone else is selling the same thing. If they know and like you, they're going to buy from you. So make sure you create a brand that stands out. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you protect it. And so now we're talking about trademarks and copyrights. The content that you're creating is protected by copyrights. The brand of it is protected by trademarks. So example, for courses, copyrights look like your course videos, looks like your materials, your written materials. It looks like the audio that comes with that. That's what copyrights. It looks like your graphics, right? If you have a graphic logo, it looks like that. All those things are protected by copyrights. If you have musical intro into your course, that's protected by copyright. So you, as the course creator, need to make sure that you either have original content, original music, or you're using royalty free, or you have a license to use that music, because you don't want to infringe on someone else's copyright. Now, as it relates to trademarks, what you want to make sure that you do is what that looks like for your coaching program is your brand. What is your course's name? Does your course name have is it a unique brand, or are you housing that course under a bigger umbrella brand? Whatever it is, that needs to be protected. So if it's your course name, the bigger brand that's housed under your logo, your tagline, all those things can be protected by trademarks. So you have to know the difference between trademarks and copyrights, right? So when we're talking about making sure that no one steals your content, we talked about how you can do that. You can do that by having copyright notices on all the things that are protected by copyrights, and you make sure that you put those clauses inside of your contracts, because then you can hit them twice. You can hit them with the breach of contract, and then you can hit them with the infringement. And if you have it in two places, you might even get some willful infringement on there, right? The other thing that I see that coaches don't really have, what I hear a lot, we haven't had this happen, knock on wood, but what people are doing is they're taking your programs and then they're charging back, or they're asking for refunds. You need to have a clear refund policy in place. A clear refund policy in place. A lot of times when it comes to the money part of it, we talk about what the fee is, when the payments are due, right? We don't talk about what happens if they don't pay, and what happens if they try to charge back. You need to have language in your agreements that speak to that. And I know for a fact that both our one-on-one agreement and our group coaching agreement both speak to that. Because what we don't want are chargebacks. And a lot of times what happens, what I've seen is that when people have a really clear and strong refund policy, when these charges are disputed, they're able to say, here's the agreement that they signed. Especially when you're working with one-on-one clients, I would have them sign it. You can, of course, you can have it set up if it's like a product in your shop. You can have it set up where they just click a box saying that they agree to the terms. But if you're doing one-on-one or group, I feel like if you're doing any type of program like that, especially if it's a high offer program, it's not going to be something that you're just going to let anybody in. It's going to be somebody that you're going to talk to and go through that sales process, because this is not a $50 coaching program or $1,000 coaching program, right? It's going to be a pretty good amount of money. So you want to make sure that the person is a good fit. And you want to do that for two reasons. One, you want to make sure that they're a good fit for your program. You want to make sure that they're going to be able to listen and actually be open to coaching, right? And the other thing is you want to see if you can get a feel for their character, because I always say your contract is as good as the person you enter into that agreement with. If you are entering into agreement with somebody that's shady, the contract is going to cost you money to enforce that contract. So that's why you want to do that interview process. And then when you're doing that as part of the sales process, just let them read and sign that agreement. And people should not be scared to sign that agreement because of a couple of reasons. A lot of times people are scared to sign contracts because they don't understand them, because they're written in legalese. We don't write contracts in legalese. We need to write it. So when I write a contract, I need for you to understand that contract. I need the person that you're getting into the agreement with to understand that contract. So that's how we write our contracts, with that in mind. So when you give them your contract, they're going to be able to understand it. And what it does is it sets the expectations and the boundaries for you as a coach. So because a lot of times something will happen and maybe a client will try to reach out to you after hours, and then they're all mad and trying to blast you because you're not responding in a certain amount of time. Well, what does your contract say? Did your contract say that you're available 24 hours? Or does your contract say that they're able to contact you via social media DMs, or are they supposed to reach you through a client portal or email or some other matter? Those are things that you want to make sure that you're addressing in your client contract, right? And if we're talking about group contracts, one of the biggest problems that I've seen with group contracts, not group contracts, but group coaching programs, are people stealing, not the program, but they're stealing the clients. They're soliciting. And they're not just soliciting like services that aren't like they're literally like trying to take clients from your coaching program to come into their coaching program. How do you stop that? Anybody, if you know what I'm going to say about how to stop that, let me know in the comments what I'm getting ready to say. I'll give y'all a second. That's right. That's right. That's right. Put it in the agreement. No solicitation. Put it in the contract. No solicitation. No solicitation. You cannot be in here poaching my clients for your program. You can't be in this program bad mouthing me and trying to get people into your program. You put all of that stuff in your contract. In your contract. Sherry says, wow. Yeah, that's what you do. So contracts are very, very powerful. I love contracts because, again, it sets the expectations. If somebody might read your contract and be like, you know what, this is too much. I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to join your program. And while you might be like, dang, I really wanted that sale, at the same time, you should be really counting your blessings because you just dodged a bullet. If someone sees your boundaries and they say that I can't respect them, then that they're not the person, they're not the client for you. But if you don't ever give them a contract, then they can't make that decision. And then you end up with a nightmare on your hands. Somebody that thinks, oh, because I paid you X amount of dollars, you're supposed to be available all the time. And sometimes our coaching programs, even if they're not the high tier one, maybe they're a lower tier one. And the expectation for you is that maybe there are no one-on-one live sessions, right? Maybe it's all maybe it's all pre-recorded, right? But they're thinking, because I paid you this money, I need access to you. But your contract says, did I win a car? Did you win a car? I know, right? We'll figure out something to get you. We'll figure out, send me, I have your email address. I got something for you. But yes. So if you're looking to protect your coaching program, we got 4 considerations. The first one, you need to have really great contracts. Stop piecing together contracts from the internet. It's terrible. Some of y'all aren't even formatting, changing the format. Y'all literally just copying and pasting. And you can tell because this contract, this piece of language here sounds one way, and then this one down here sounds another way, right? Or this font is different from this font, and it doesn't even mesh. But I understand it because, having a custom contract drafted can start at anywhere from like $2,500. So I get it. I get it. You need to find somewhere to get contracts that you can rely on. And we have those contracts, just so you know. We do have a template suite in the Genius Lounge. All my Genius Insiders this month have access to our one-on-one coaching agreement and our group coaching agreement, because that was the contract for the month. I actually did too. You're welcome. If you are not a Genius Insider, you can still purchase it. We actually just launched our bundle. So with the bundle, you save big time. You get both agreements for like $5.97. They're $4.97 a piece, and you're getting both of them for $5.97. So that's something to think about if you're looking for a good coaching template. You can definitely check out those templates, and the link is in our bio, and I'll leave the link here. Oh, you just got them? Good. And we make it super easy too. Make it super easy. I'm not even gonna see. I kind of want to see what that was. Anywho, make it super easy for you with those contract templates. A lot of times you don't know how to fill it out. We ask you questions, you answer the questions, and then you have a template. How about that? So that's cool. And then the second consideration that you want to make sure you do is identify and protect your copyrights. So once you have your videos, especially if they're pre-recorded videos, once you have those videos, you want to go ahead and get those copywritten. We don't do the written materials and the videos together because they're two different types, but you want to go ahead and get those materials protected, right? And if you're doing live videos, the question is, okay, I'm doing live videos. How do I protect those live videos? Once the session is over, so if you have a 6-week coaching program that's live, once that's over, then we go about protecting the copyright to it. You want to also make sure, the third consideration is make sure you identify and protect your trademarks. That will be your tagline. That will be your logo. That'll be the course's name if it's something unique. If it's descriptive, then it's not going to fly, right? But if it's not descriptive, then you can trademark it. And it shouldn't be descriptive. It should be something that's unique, that makes you stand out in the market and in the industry. Okay? The fourth consideration is, once you have your contract, once you have your registered copyrights, once you have your registered trademarks, please make sure that you're enforcing your rights. If you are not enforcing your rights, your investment can go down the toilet, because people are still just walking over and using your stuff, and you're just going to be sitting mad. Excuse me. This is the best water, by the way. My dad got me this water bottle for Christmas, and it's copper, so it filters the water, and it tastes so fresh. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so do we have any questions? We have a few minutes left. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about what we talked about tonight, or if you just have questions on something else. Let's see, Barrett says, if you don't know that your IP rights are being infringed on, how can you enforce them? That is great. So one of the things that you can do, you'll see all the times, but one of the things that you can do is monitor them. Once you have your intellectual property registered, you can hire a company to monitor them, monitor the USPTO to make sure that no one's trying to register anything that's same or similar. You can set up Google alerts for your product, for your name. And they don't really have it for images yet, but if you have a slogan or a name, you can set up Google alerts. And you just have to and that will let you know what's going on with that. Can't see your video. Oh, can you guys see me? Okay, I think you all can see me, but this says, okay, yes, I can. Yes, okay. Oh, no, it says you can see me loud and clear, but the screen is black. I'm not sure why it's black. Okay, I'm not sure why it's black. Maybe go in and do your setting to presenter so that, let's see. There we go. Maybe that helps, which I should have did in the beginning. Anywho, so Sherry has a question, and then I'll get to Sherry's questions first. If you use TikTok posts as a form of marketing for your business, do you have any IP protection for those? Really great question. So it really depends on if you're using, because a lot of these TikTok videos use audio, uses somebody else's audio. So you don't have any protection in that. You wouldn't be able to claim protection in that audio, but in what you're doing, you could, if it is something that they say you got to have like a certain level of creativity for the video, for the content that you're creating. So if it passes that level of creativity, then you can. And then you said, can't see your video. What is the water name you mentioned a second ago? Oh, the water. Oh, this is a water bottle. This is a, it's by Anya. I think you got it from Amazon, but it's copper on the inside. So you just literally put your water in there, and then when you drink it, it tastes like so good. So good. I will leave a link to this in the Genius Lounge so you can see it. Cool beans. We got just a few more minutes. Thank you for everyone letting me know that you can hear me. But I'll send you, I think I saw it on Amazon. I'll send you the link, Diana. Let's see, what other questions? And I want to say hi to everybody that's on Instagram watching right now. I don't think we were able to go. Yeah, we weren't able to go live on YouTube. I will figure that out later. Well, I'm so excited that you all decided to spend your Valentine's evening with me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And what I really want you to be able to do is just make sure that we're starting out 2022 in the best way. I know a lot of people had goals to make sure that their legal foundation was tight. Like they're not playing any games. What they're noticing is that not only celebrities and big businesses are making sure that they have their trademarks, the copyrights in their contracts. They're noticing that some of their favorite influencers, some of their favorite coaches, some of their favorite people that they just admire on Instagram and social media are also taking care of their legal business. So I want that to be you. So if you want these contracts, if you want intellect, you want your trademarks and copyrights, you can do two things. One, you can do the contract templates by going to the Genius Lounge, or you can hire us one-on-one. So I guess you can do three things. One-on-one to draft your contracts and to register your intellectual property for you, or you can join the Genius Insiders, which is our legal membership, where you have access to all the contract templates for free and 50% off of all of your legal services that aren't already discounted. So you already get a discount with your trademark. So on the other services, you will get a discount. Does every YouTube video have to be copyright, or can it just be the channel? That is a great question. So it's going to be the content that's going to be protected. Your YouTube channel is going to be protected by trademarks because that's the brand, but the copyright is going to be for the videos. Now, when it comes to the videos, when you're a content creator, so if you're creating YouTube videos or you're creating podcasts or blogs, I always suggest that you do those in basically have like episodes, like seasons. And then, like when you're watching your favorite shows and they just break for a season, after 3 months, we record everything that you've done in the last 3 months, because if you register your copyright within 3 months, you get all of your rights. So that's what you want to be able to do. He said, I came back. Since you can see me now, I'm going to show this to you again. Maybe not that, because that's kind of glaring. But yeah, I'll show it to you. But yes, great. But that was a really great question. Ladies and gentlemen, It is now 7:30. That is our time. That is our time. I really enjoyed this. If you are interested in joining the Genius Lounge, that is our free community. We have a lot of people that are watching us from the Genius Lounge. What you can do is just click the link in my bio if you're watching on IG and join the Genius Lounge. It's free. It's free. Oh, and Genius Lounge members get discounted consultations. What? Yes, you get discounted consultations. So you'll be able to have access to all of the products that we have in the Genius Lounge. You'll be able to ask your questions. You'll be able to meet and connect with other entrepreneurs in the group. And you'll be able to join our masterclass that's going to happen on the 4th Thursday of every month. So second Monday, we have Murray's Law that we stream live to multiple platforms. And every 4th Thursday, we have master classes, which are more in-depth kind of how-to classes. All right. Let's see, any other thing? Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining me. Sherry says great information. Diane says good night and happy Valentine's Day. Same to you. Good night.